Hi everyone, alongside Mike Trossel, I'm Dave Giancola, and thanks for joining us again as we take a walk down the road to stardom. Having reached the top spot in the world ranking and with multiple major titles to her name, Lydia Ko has a resume most professional golfers would only dream of. But before that, she was already taking the golf world by storm as an amateur.
Dave, and just 2 weeks before she won her first LPGA Tour event, the 15-year-old New Zealander was at the Country Club in Cleveland, Ohio, working her way through the field at the 2012 U.S. Women's Amateur. And with match play opponents that included fellow LPGA Tour players J-Marie Green, Ariya Jutanugarn, Celine Boutier, and Amy Olson, the path to victory was anything but a simple one.
Definitely some impressive names in the field. Let's take a look at how it all unfolded. Here are some highlights from Lydia Ko's run to the 2012 U.S. Women's Amateur title.
I thought you were going to mention Joanne Carner.
There are a few names we could put on that list.
So Rito is one up after Ko misses that putt.
So I think she is conscious of picking up the pace a little bit more today.
Well, that's great news. It's great that she heard that, understood it, and was willing to adapt and adjust.
Her friend Lauren Diaz-Yu yesterday, and she was there, and she was telling me that only about 50% of these players, they think putt cross hand. A lot of juniors are taught that way.
Yeah, sometimes, good looking putt. Oh, how did that not move to the right?
That was tricky. It went left off the face.
A lot of times players are taught left-hand low as a drill, and sometimes it just feels so comfortable, and you're able to line up more squarely. You'll stay with it.
This is about the same length, Steve, that she conceded to Paula on the first hole. Very similar putt. Not reciprocated, but didn't need to be, and nor would I have given it.
So Lydia Ko wins the fifth with a 3, so 1 up as they head to the 6th hole.
Well, yesterday we saw the bunker prowess of Lydia Ko. She'll have another chance right here. We saw her hold one yesterday from about this distance.
Yeah, very different conditions, though, and this green sloping away significantly.
She's got nice technique in the bunker.
That's well done from there. Just enough water to help her.
Beautiful putting stroke. Boy,
Man,
she just takes it straight back and straight through.
Successfully rode the school bus there. Going to be hard to judge with the fact that the greens aren't as quick as these players are used to them putting, so it's easy to overstrike it.
And that's what she did. Good call there, Val.
And raced it by, good 2.5, 3 feet.
Yeah, Paula's not racing to the green to give it to her.
So
Last part of Paula's putt broke a lot, but it was past the hole, but it was enough to confuse Lydia, I think. It's giving it a lot of room from the right to left.
Didn't confuse her that much. What a putt by Lydia Ko.
A solid command of your performance, and Lydia just did that on the 8th. 184 yards here at the 9th. Tough hole location today in the back right-hand corner. But it is, because it is back, you do have some room to go right at it.
Yeah, we've seen the best shots come up a little short left of the hole location. Lydia talking things over with her mom, Tina. Her dad's name is Gil. And Mom Tina has been pretty much traveling with her this summer session of golf tournaments that they've been visiting.
And she doesn't play any golf, Kay. She says, I'm just a mom caddy. I play no golf. I guess her sister plays golf.
And her sister, Sura, is 23 years old.
No, her mom's sister plays golf.
Oh, I think, yeah, she's the one that first introduced
Lydia to the game.
Now at the 9th, Rito already in with par, so an opportunity for Lydia Ko to go 3 up.
Another chance to be aggressive. This is an uphill putt. Has very little movement, but it will fall right at the end.
Yeah, this is almost up the fall line, Val.
Yeah, it's confusing to look at it because from both sides it looks like it could go either way.
Just ran out of pace. A little bit of frustration there by Lydia.
No, that could have really sealed it, Steve.
Certainly could have given her even more momentum heading to the back nine, but she will go 2 up as they head to 10.
Didn't really lay it up into a very good spot, but manageable. Just a gap wedge. It's really the uphill that's going to dictate. It looks like she's got enough on it. No, not quite, but not bad.
Better than her opponent.
And that is what matters. No, I didn't chart greens at age 35. I was one of the believers in the Ben Crenshaw school. You read it as you walked up to it, you could feel it.
Mm-hmm. And she felt that one. Well, she's moving into a good comfort zone right now.
So she has taken that match to 3 up.
Rito for par.
And she didn't have a lot into this green, but left herself a first difficult putt, and that was a heck of a save to stay in the hole. And now pressure's on Ko because she has no gimme.
Good putt there by Paula.
Paula has not hit her irons that good today, and it explains why she's down in the match. And Ko hasn't necessarily done anything spectacular, but she's just not made a lot of mistakes that were hurtful.
She
made
seems to make, she just seems to play very nicely, no matter if it's the beginning of the week or if it's the championship round. She just stays very even-keeled.
She made an interesting choice coming into this green, only 162 yards, and whips out that 20-degree hybrid and chokes way down on it and hits it like a 7-iron. She does a lot of that.
She said she has quite a gap between that and her next iron.
And there's an opening.
Yep.
It certainly is. So Paula Rito with a little bit of life now, 2 down as they head to 14.
And a 22-degree hybrid.
Gripping it again way down, like you said, almost to the shaft.
She does. She's got a lot of feel, though. She does play these little shots with these hybrids just like little dink cut shot irons.
Pretty good shot, but she would appear to be away. She may putt first there.
All day long by either player, both on par 5s for Lydia, short and close in. Gonna move left. Well, I think I misread there.
I think that from that distance, though, that was well done. A good gimme par. She's in control of this match, forcing her opponent to make the shots.
Yeah, and Paula's putt is just on the fall line. It could go either way, but it looks as though it has to go a little more right than it would left. She needs something to rev her up a little bit, and now is the time.
So that hole is halved with pars, and we move up to 16. Over at 15 now, Lydia Ko for a birdie.
And on any other day, I would say this putt is really hard, but because of the rain, it won't be as quick.
Her ball must have released down a little bit away from that fringe.
Yeah, it's a clean backstroke.
Yeah.
So Ko has her par conceded.
Happening. Second shots were being played at the par 5 16th. This was Lydia Ko. She's 2 up. Has a chance to win the match here.
That was a 3-wood from 193 yards. Rito has a bad lie in the rough.
A little unlucky there for Ko. Landed very softly. Now Rito.
Just 186. She's going to have to dig it out of here. What a great strike.
Could get a little forward kick too when it lands.
Oh, that was tremendous.
So a chance for an eagle for Paula Rito.
Looking like she's gonna chip it.
Yeah, I don't like this play. I think it's too much can go wrong, and see, she's just got too much spin on that. It's too wet out here.
Oh, she'd be in the position where she'd be dormy.
She'd be cruising.
She'd be as many up as there are holes left to play, and that's always a good thing. Then all she has to do is have one of the next 2 holes and she'd win the match. As opposed to if she doesn't make this, she goes 1 down, and then it's really anybody's game, and Rito will go to that next tee with a load of momentum.
This is just a classic match play situation. You had Lydia Ko just short of the green right, looked like she was in great shape. Paula Rito in the rough to the left and hit a beauty onto the green, and Rito could end up winning the hole now.
Well, and Ko had the putter out and then second-guessed it, went into deep conversation with her mother, and should have just stuck with her first instinct.
That first instinct is often right, isn't it, Val?
Boy, I found it to be. Still do. Not a lot of turn here. More about just the pressure that is on the putt itself.
Well, she is
Perfect.
cool as a cucumber, is she not?
2 up with 2 to play.
Now Lydia Ko next to go.
3 wood, not going to hit the driver, just wants to land it in a certain spot, take a certain club in.
Probably try to stay up on that high side too, where the turf is better.
Yeah, I don't agree with that play, but for whatever reason, she chose it.
Hit a nice soft little milked fade, it looked like there, and landed very softly. 1 match left on the course.
And setting up to play this a little left.
That was aggressive.
Wow.
Yes, it is. Lands just past the flag stick. About 15 feet or so remaining for Lydia. Yeah, she really needs to make it, Val.
That is the only option for her.
Boy, she wasted no time playing that one. So she will likely call it a day, perhaps.
She did.
She did.
And that's a show of good sportsmanship.
So conceded to Lydia Ko, who will move on to the semifinals.
Well, the 4 quarterfinal matches are now in the books. Lydia Ko advances.
You're not too exhausted, but you weren't that happy with the way you played today. What was going on? You talked to your mother a lot. You seemed like you got a little bit slower coming in again, maybe trying hard again coming in.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially this year, I've had a bad finish at the U.S. Open. I was shooting 3 under, and things kind of went the other way in the last few holes. But I just wanted to finish strong, and I was, I don't know what was going through my mind, and I wasn't having the best long game day ever. So I thought I kind of need to go a little slower, even if it had held the little field up. But I mean, overall it wasn't too bad. I shot 1 under, and I shot 1 under on the secondary stroke plays, and that day I was hitting it really good. So I mean, it doesn't matter where you hit it, and it's basically near the short game area where it counts.
Now, you are going to be out against Arya Jutanagarn, and you just said that you only became familiar with her at the USGA Juniors earlier. Do you know more about her game than just becoming familiar with her?
Well, 99.9% of times she shoots very, very low scores, and I mean, she shot 7 under, 8 under, 5 under, 4 under, some crazy scores. So I mean, I know she's a great player, and she's number 2 in the world. So we're gonna have a good match tomorrow, and we'll have to see who the winner is then.
It's going to be a good match, but you shoot some pretty crazy good scores too.
But makes up for it around the greens.
Ever-present mom Tina in the background there as the caddy. You will see this quite often. Lots of discussion. Her mother always seems to be carrying a couple extra golf clubs just in case.
Well, it looks like she was thinking about possibly a little chip shot, but because she's so close to the edge of the putting surface, I like this call going with the putter.
Big break to the left here. So now Jutanugarn with this putt for a par. Her opponent still not in the hole.
This is a slider.
Safely in though, almost broke the back of the cup there. That one didn't break much. Smile for her sister, Maria, who is the caddy. Her Aria this week. It was reversed last year at the U.S. Women's Amateur, where Aria caddied for older sister Maria after Aria was taken out in match play.
And Maura made it to the finals with her sister alongside.
So that hole is halved, the 6th hole. Lydia Ko remains 1 up, both matches at 1 up.
She was faced with a very difficult hole location back right, 215 to the hole. A little wind off her right and has overreacted that hole location with her 3-wood.
It's a tough par 4 to come in with a 3-wood today.
Jutanugarn drove it in the bunker. This now is second.
Difficult ball below her feet and a big lip to carry.
You see that so often with players trying to go with a hybrid out of the fairway bunker, and they end up topping it, Val.
It is easier when the bunkers are wet, but that didn't help.
Well, it's not in the way of the shot. And,
Not really, but it could help stop it if it got away from her. She undercut that, I think, a little bit. Yep, and just didn't get enough club on it. Lydia just pushed it a hair and was in the front bunker, but would have been able to hit it on the green from there on the fly. So she's not short. The thing that's going to be the most difficult about this putt is the speed. It's on a bit of a mound. Going downhill.
Got a chance. What a putt by Lydia Ko. We've seen that a number of times this week when you would least expect it. She may be young in terms of chronological age, but in terms of experience, Lydia Ko has a bunch of it. So Jutanugarn now in a position where she really needs to answer this to have the hole in stages 1 down.
She wants to start this just outside the left edge. She looks as though she may be lined up a little to the right of that. Nope, just enough.
How
Great
about
speed.
that little topper there?
Not a difficult line, really, just needs to hit it hard enough.
Oh, she did.
Boy, she made that look like a 5-footer.
Now Jutanugarn to have, and after maybe a slight advantage off the tee shots, Lydia Ko walks away with a birdie too to take a 2-up advantage. And Jutanugarn maybe just a little bit out of sorts the last couple of holes.
Well, missing that short opportunity for birdie at 10, which would have squared the match. So instead of being square, now she's 2 down this game.
Gripping all the way down on the steel for her 4th shot. That one will come up short.
She does
Well,
that
the
a lot,
ball was-
Val.
The ball was down deep in that grass. She couldn't get too cute with it. That's a pretty good leave, really.
Yeah, I like her technique on those chip shots. She grips down to really control the club head, and then she can get through it with a little more aggressive nature, a little more aggressive move.
Her strength to me is routine. She just keeps herself calm and together.
Over at 12, Jutanugarn with a chance to win the hole. It would be her first hole won today.
Yeah, most important putt of the day, and made it.
Boy, and she hit that extra aggressively, made sure that stayed on its line.
Front left-hand corner. But Aria's hit it deep off this sea whale down here, so Lydia needs a good one.
Pretty good one right there. Hole high right.
One place you don't want to miss it in that green side bunker, just left of that front left hole location. Jutanugarn, again 1 down in the match, gets ready for her second.
And 32 yards in front of Lydia.
Maybe not the best angle here, Val.
Yeah, well, you know what? She has a wedge in her hand. I think let's go a little bit past it, see if you can get it to spin back.
That helps.
Or hit it right there.
just missing the birdie effort.
You know, she reminds me a little bit of Lexi Thompson when she putts and she's got a putt. I gotta think that she's gonna try to make it. It's pretty straightforward. There's maybe a little bit of movement.
Oh, wow. Your crystal ball was clear.
It is on fire. Thing is on fire.
Boy, she pulls out some shots every now and again that are just phenomenal.
Well, you know, the other thing, too, is that, you know, with Jutanugarn, she's not going to miss these all day long, is she?
Look at this reaction. Yes. That's how it's done.
Jutanugarn for birdie to have a hole.
How about that?
Wasting little time there, so she had to be thinking after that approach shot that she might be able to get one, but Lydia Ko with the birdie from off the green.
This was just earlier at 16, a chance to reach this par 5 in 2 shots for Lydia Ko.
And the wind's crossing, it's playing downhill. She can reach, and she struck it solid. 234.
Oh boy, did she ever strike it solid. That is going to feed up toward the center of the green. It'll leave her a long eagle putt, but still with Jutanugarn having to punch out. Clearly the momentum on the side of Lydia Ko now. And Ariya Jutanugarn, Val, has been very, very good with her wedges today, but this one probably the most important of all.
Yeah, well, she's been beat recently, you know, or certainly tied with a birdie. So every time she's tried to give herself a chance, she hasn't had luck on her side. Now from 87 yards, she has to hit a good one.
Looking for her 3rd birdie on the par 5s today. Looking down at the club, but I don't think that was the issue. The issue was that she hit a little bit behind the ball.
Either that or pulled the wrong wedge.
Lydia Ko, 1 up with an eagle putt when we come back. Back over at 16 now, Lydia Ko has an eagle putt, albeit an unlikely one she would hold. Remember, her opponent has played 4 shots and is way long, way past the hole.
You know, she wants to hit a smart putt, clearly playing it about 6 or 8 inches outside the right edge.
That wasn't that good, actually.
This is a pretty level putt. It's all about speed.
Just about like that. Lydia Ko is 2 up with 2 to play. 4 really good shots there at 16 on the green and 2 putts.
That's
Forced
disappointing
it.
for her.
Yep, forced it.
That transition K got so fast. I really expected her to get very close to making that. She's conceded the match.
So that is it. She has conceded. And Jay Marie Green into the finals of the U.S. Women's Amateur. Well-played match.
It was. It was a very evenly played match. Zhang was down, fought back. Beautifully played by Green.
Lydia Ko, 2 up, 2 to go, looking to join Green in the finals.
Playing the back tee, the front of the back tee. Needs to hit one down the right-hand side, trees guard the left, it's into the wind. And I can't tell where that finished, but I think she might have a level lie.
Yeah,
No?
it looks pretty level.
From the right-hand side, and
She has,
stand and wait.
she has such a great ability to pull off shots when needed. I mean, a lot of people can pull off shots in practice or early in the week, but she gets it done when it counts the most.
She reminds me, you know, Jie Shin, who was a former world #1 on the LPGA Tour. They called her the Ice Queen, you know, because she was so steady over the putter, but a very soft-spoken, sweet, and gentle personality. Lydia has that same demeanor.
They also called her chalk line because she was always in the middle of the fairway.
Oh, what a
Wow.
wonderful
Wow.
shot. That should just about do it for Lydia Ko.
As a young golfer, she found the ball, then went up and to take a look, and then came back and had a hard time finding it.
Chances of even getting this on the green when she needs to sink it.
Yeah, she pretty much on a scale of 1 to 10, her chances, if 10 were not, that's about where she stands. I mean, she's going to have to blast it and not let it come back down the hill, but then she's going to have a putt that would be extremely difficult and probably not matter either way.
I would think she'd just give this one swing, see what happens, and then I would just concede. No.
Back at her feet.
Yeah, able to advance it about 5 or 10 paces up the hill. And you get the sense that might be the last swing of this match.
That's a hard way for her to finish. She really has played good golf most of the day. Still smiling at her sister.
She's going to give it one more whirl, so this is now her 4th.
That was the one she needed to be her 3rd.
Wait and see if she concedes to Lydia.
Well, that's kind of how these two are. One pulls the other one up the hill. I think she's trying to decide.
Talking it over with her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So now it's official. Wonderful match between Lydia Ko and Arya Jutanagarn. The world's #1 ranked amateur victorious and moving on to the championship match.
An excited Lydia Ko, and whatever, chip in, eagle putt. You just didn't leave the door open at all.
Yeah, to be honest, today Arya hit it really close to the pins, and I guess there was a little pressure on me. It was much better today, but you know, I knew I had to go aggressive with my chip over there because she hit it to 3 feet. So I think everything went well, and my putting's been really good the last few rounds, so I'm really happy.
What did your mom say to you coming down that last few stretch of holes?
I'm pretty sure we were both nervous on the inside, but we tried not to, you know, show it, because if we do, we'll get more nervous. And I know Arya is a strong player, and you know, every shot counts, and you never know what's going to happen.
J. Marie Green, are you familiar with her game at all?
No, not really. I first saw her at the Open, and you can see that she's a strong player as well. So we'll, I guess, have another great round, and we'll see who's going to win and who's going to be the champion.
Well, you put on quite a display today. Thank you for stopping and talking to us. Congratulations, and back to you guys.
She is currently trailing in this match,
And this
one
isn't
down.
hazard, right? Okay, excuse me, Dad.
Incredibly, she pulled her tee shot left here at #6. It ricocheted off a tree all the way across the fairway and into the weeds and trees here at the right side of #6. Mark Rolfing here, along with Kate Cockrell, twice winner of this great championship. Steve Burkowski calling holes, Jane Crafter and Val Skinner out there with the final match. J. Marie's father, Donnie, on the bag.
Oh my God. All right, she could give her the hole. Try one more shot.
So that is the voice of Donnie saying, try one more shot.
I don't know how to. I was sure. Oh yeah, she could have the hole. Hey, you can have the hole.
That is the essence of match play. A player can concede a hole at any time, even before the hole, if you don't feel very good on the tee, I guess. Take one more look, Kay. Obviously what happened was here, the tree caught her on the backswing.
You always seem to take your real swing back a little bit further than your practice swing, and she looped it around, obviously caught a limb, and it threw the whole downstroke off line. And that's a real disconcerting feeling right there, and it looked like she might have tweaked, possibly hurt herself. She's lucky if she didn't really hurt herself.
It's just that one.
So let's set this final match for you. That is J. Marie Green, 18 years old, Boca Raton, Florida. She has a nice resume of amateur golf wins, but nothing like that lady right there. That is Lydia Ko, 15 years old, from New Zealand, the #1 ranked amateur in the world. This is a 36-hole final. They had the first hole of the day, Kay, and this for a birdie at #2.
Didn't hit it in very tight, but obviously that didn't matter.
Then at the 4th hole, we have seen Lydia Ko putt well all week long. This to go 2 up.
And this pretty much sends a message to your opponent. You're out for some serious business when you're rolling in putts of that distance.
But as she's pretty much done all week long, Jay Marie came back here at number 6. This from well off the green.
And she's been doing that all week long, putting from the short grass.
This now Jay Marie to square the match at number 12.
Her opponent missed the green in regulation, and she took advantage.
She would follow that up by losing the hole at number 13. This was Lydia Ko, though, at 15. This to have the hole. One of the first putts of that length we've seen her miss all week long, so the match then was square. Now at the unique par 4 17th, second shot for Ko.
She really dialed in this short iron nicely. Her opponent missed the green to the right. And although Jay Marie Green made par, she co-rolled in that short putt for birdie. A hard green to hit anyways in regulation. Hard to get it close.
And I like the idea of chipping it better than putting it, Kay. She's has very good touch around the greens. This is a prime example.
Yeah. For the 3rd time in the last few days, Lydia Ko has holed it from off the green.
She dramatically won a hole yesterday on the 15th, chipping in.
Then holed out from the bunker a couple of matches prior. Another look at this one.
Now she just clips it so cleanly, gets a teeny little check which stops the speed, and then adds a perfect read.
I love the reaction. It's almost like, oh my goodness, it went in.
Well, and that is just huge coming off the previous hole that she wins, and things are just changing around very quickly.
So this now to have the hole for Jay Marie Green.
Well, and it was not quite a Hail Mary, but a little bit of one. That was still a very good effort.
So things have changed dramatically here in the past 10 to 12 minutes.
And isn't that the nature of match play?
It certainly is. After conceding the 24th hole, Jay Marie Green loses the 25th as well. And we talked about some of these hole outs for Lydia Ko in the round of 16. This on the 13th out of the greenside bunker.
With no green to work with.
Then yesterday, it looked like the advantage in the semifinals against Ariya Jutanugarn, who was in close for birdie.
She was underneath the hole. Almost the same type of shot and the same technique that she just did. And you couple that with she's had probably a good large handful of 35, 40 footers she's rolled in.
Well, she's challenging those bunkers.
Yeah, it almost looked like she was aimed right at that left edge, and that was a big hit.
Very aggressive play there by Lydia Ko, and she will have a much shorter 3rd shot. I love coming to this women's amateur and seeing all the social media aspects of this thing, especially from these youngsters. And earlier, Steve Burkowski asked Lydia Ko how many Twitter followers she has.
I think like 6. I personally don't do Twitter. Yeah, I've never put anything up there. And today in the rain delay, my friend Sue, she was doing it, so I, started doing it. Yeah, I'm more of the Facebook, It's quick and easy.
But you can tie your Twitter right into your Facebook.
I knew that. Not really.
She was referring to Soo Hyun Oh, who is from Australia. Very good friend. They've stayed together at events.
You take a look at Lydia's resume and you think she's got to be older than 15 years old. And she's just got this shy little innocence to her that you got to love. And here's how she made it. A couple of pretty big victories there.
Well, sort of similar to Jay Marie. Her first round match she won that on the 16 or 15th hole, and then the rest were a little tighter. But she, in all of them, had pretty much control over the matches.
Hard-fought match there with Amy Anderson in the round of 32, who had a couple of early matches that were very difficult. She had a tough road. Tahoe was eliminated there by Lydia Ko, and now Jay Marie for her third shot.
Just 107 yards on a flat portion of the fairway here. Might just be just ever so slightly downhill.
What do you think it's playing?
Back.
It's 107.
Back into the wind, which is going to help because she doesn't have a lot of room behind this whole location. Some kind of wedge.
Be a good time for her to put one in there close, Val, and maybe put a little pressure on Lydia.
Yeah, there's never a bad time.
Yeah, the thing is she has to stay confident and not be rattled by the fact she's lost the last couple of holes.
There were a lot of times in the early portion of the match this morning she could have gotten really down, but Lydia continued to miss putts, and she was dodging bullets, but Jay Marie just continued on and acted as if she was playing as well as it seemed.
Well, that was a misjudgment there of the distance, and that one's going to be a good 35 feet short of the hole, so Lydia Ko now with clearly the advantage, not only being 3 up, but much closer to this hole here in 2 shots.
Well, I have her yardage mark at 42 to the front, holes on 25, and there's only 6 behind it, as Val alluded to, and it's a little bit of an upturned pudding bowl type shape here. It will run away toward the back of the green, but where she's standing, you have to carry that particular part of the green.
She has really quickened her pace today, Jane. I've enjoyed watching her. Seems to have a lot of bounce in her step, walking with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, pre-shot routine and everything is sped up as well after being spoken to by USGA official Ali Jarrett earlier in the week about her pace of play. And that's an important part about learning to play on a stage like this.
Mom is always close by, but it seems like, particularly the last day or so, she hasn't been quite as involved in the discussion of all the shots here. Lydia with a lot of confidence right now.
Well, I think if she carries this about 60, 62 yards, that would be ideal. She's hit it in with quite a low trajectory. Needs to grab.
It does.
Good. Boy, that was, she just took a little waist-high backswing and really came down on it, kept it low.
This was just a moment ago, 26th hole of the U.S. Women's Amateur Championship final match. This was Jay Marie Green's putt for a birdie. She is 3 down currently in the match.
And Lydia is just 2 feet away. And she needs to be a lot more aggressive than that.
So that one comes up short, and now Lydia Ko with a putt to win the hole and go 4 up in the championship match.
And one a right-hander loves, uphill, inside right.
She's been deadly from this distance all week long. Does it again right there. Lydia Ko has won 3 holes in a row. Amazing how the momentum has changed. Just 40 minutes ago, Jay Marie Green there on the left was only 1 down. All of a sudden, she is 4 down now to the #1 ranked amateur player in the world, Lydia Ko. And now a second shot for Lydia Ko, Steve.
Yeah, in the greenside bunker here, and has birdied 4 of her last 6 holes. We've seen what she's done with her short game throughout the week.
Well, this is going to test her and not much green to work with. Oh, and she hit the hole. I mean, Steve, it's just ridiculous.
It's a clinic.
Wow. That's all you can say.
That was not an easy bunker shot. It was a little bit on the downslope, Kay, as well.
There was nothing easy about that. I mean, to have her hit the hole at all is amazing. I would have bet a lot of money that she would not have gotten that up and down. Or if she did, it would have been because she holed a 25-footer.
She was 1 for 1 this morning in sand saves, 0 for 2 so far this afternoon, but in good position to make that 1 for 3. But after a great tee shot here by Jay Marie Green, a Great opportunity here to try to chip away at the lead just a little bit.
Steve, she had a beautiful 4 hybrid in here, and you know, this is an effervescent, up, bubbly, spirited, really terrific young player who, even, you know, if the worst turned out, today is a huge day for her, huge in her career, and certainly Kay, something that, you know, if you said to her on Tuesday, this is where you'll be, on Sunday, I don't know if she would have believed it. So this is a great opportunity here, a look at it with a little left to right slider to get it back to just 3.
Well, she was talking earlier in the week about a putt she holed at the Kraft Nabisco on the final hole on Friday afternoon to make the cut as the biggest putt of her career. But I'm going to say right now this one is pretty close. High enough?
She's had a couple putts just a little too low. Oh, that's disappointing.
So par conceded to J. Marie Green. Lydia Ko with a little bit of work remaining for her par.
Yeah, as great as that bunker shot was, this isn't a gimme.
No, not at all. And in this morning's match, Kay, you know, she missed a number of makeable putts. She could easily have been 4 or 5 up in the morning. Not that she putted badly, but she didn't take advantage of a lot of her opportunities.
Not like she has all week.
Yeah, she's made a heap of birdies by our count, 30, including this morning. But this one, big one for par, about 3 feet.
So much different though, Jane, isn't it, in match play, where if she misses it doesn't matter. She can hit it firm, take a little of the breakout.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd play it inside the hole firm.
That was,
she knows it was in
wow.
Kay early walk.
That was some kind of up and down right there.
So wonderful up and down from the green side bunker for Lydia Ko. They will head to the 10th hole, the 28th hole of this championship match, and Lydia Ko remains 4 up.
154, a little uphill into the breeze to an elevated green.
Ooh, that's going to be a treacherous putt. It may look close, but that will be a hard one.
So Lydia Ko on the green with her tee shot. There's a little sigh of relief there. We'll see if J. Marie Green has an answer.
Also going to go with the 6-iron. And her friends call her J Bird, J Fairway, and J Money. She needs a little bit all of it in the next few holes.
Setting up a little left. Maybe trying to cut it in a bit.
Really centered golf swing is what she's taught. Very centered to circumference with a nice sequenced motion. Got a little bit in front of that one.
So J. Marie Green will be away. She'll have a birdie putt at the 11th hole here at the Country Club. She trails Lydia Ko. She is 4 down when we come back to the Country Club.
Back at the par 3 11th, wonderful galleries out to watch the championship match of the U.S. Women's Amateur. Lydia Ko with a 4-up lead, and J. Marie Green first to go from just off the putting surface.
And she's made quite a few of these, 32 birdies in all. This one very quick off the face.
So fast up there. That was a really good effort. Gave it a legitimate chance. But a putt with that kind of break and that kind of speed is always just going to be very, very hard to make.
Yeah, I've seen, you know, she's overclubbed a fair bit today. She did in the first portion of the match. And, you know, and her dad, he's disciplined. He's staying out of it, Donnie. He at times might not agree with the selection, but he really believes it's important for her to learn her own deal. And he's not pulling any clubs, and there are probably times that's really, really tough.
And I admire him for that. And they had to figure out the way their relationship was going to work, as him being her dad and teacher and caddy.
Yeah, and she said, when you're caddy, but you're my dad.
So Lydia Ko now for birdie to win the hole and go 5 up with 7 holes to go.
Well, this is a pretty swift putt as well. About 18 feet downhill. And go from left to right as well. I just barely touched it. So hard to keep it on line.
Looks like it barely moved from the line She got that one going on, so both players a couple of feet each for their par putts. Lydia will throw a mark down on that one.
Do you say good here?
I think Lydia would. I'm not sure if Jay Marie would.
Not at this point of the match.
So it looks like Lydia might be away, but she might be standing on the ball mark of Jay Marie Green.
Maybe standing right in front of her ball mark, too.
It looks pretty.
Could she go first if that ball's no?
Okay, this is where the order of play is so important.
And in standard stroke play, the person, you know, even if they're a little closer, if they were in the way, they'd go ahead and putt out first. But order of play determines, you have to follow the order of play.
And it can be a big pressure builder and a big momentum issue.
So Martha Lang from the USG came out and deemed Lydia Ko would be first to go.
She's got to just forget about her stance and just concentrate on this putt. It's going to be, it's going to be.
Oh, she altered her stance.
So
oh
yeah,
my
that is
goodness.
a very bad idea, Kay.
Wow, she didn't take her regular stance.
You know what? That can play havoc in your mind.
Yeah, she kept her feet close together and stayed on the outward portion of the ball mark instead of separating her feet. I'm surprised she didn't just maybe stand a teeny bit further away but go into more of her regular stance. Interesting.
So a big mistake for Ko. Great opportunity for Jay Marie just to win the hole.
Green 3.
I have a feeling that was her housing family.
3 up.
So a par at the 11th, giving Jay Marie Green perhaps an unlikely win on the hole, but a much needed one. So they will head to the 30th hole of this championship match. Ko is 3 up, and taking a look at some of the amazing accomplishments of Lydia Ko.
They both made 6 here this morning, halved the hole with bogeys.
And Jay Marie only had 210 yards in, and she's launched this really high and what appears to be really long.
Wow, she
Knocked it right over the bunker.
pulled off one of her best drives when she needed it. That was aggressive.
I might have to get myself one of those drivers, Kay.
Jane, you just get anything that's new technology and you'll be upgrading.
Well, this young lady uses.
Take a look at how Lydia has played this hole this week. There you can see birdie, eagle, birdie, birdie,
Yeah.
and a bogey this morning. Has not parred the hole yet.
Today, the bogey was a result of driving it in that bunker. That and a 3-putt.
Yeah, it's a good solid strike, but it's down the left side. You have to get a good bounce.
And that will just hang up in the intermediate rough. Looks like a pretty good lie there. Lydia Ko, perhaps marching her way to this championship. We'll be back. She is 3 up. Might actually be a little benefit coming out of the rough here, wouldn't it be, Jane?
Yeah, yes, but the breeze is so much into her face, and there's a rather steep upslope. I don't think that you can get it all the way there. It's about 220 to the front. This is starting down the right side.
That will come up just short of the bunker. A little bit of an upslope, all depends on the lie there.
It's going to be an awkward angle, too.
Certainly not a gimme up and down. And Jay Marie Green simply needs a 4. That's all she should be thinking about right now, or perhaps a 3 even.
And so far, she's done everything to make that happen. She's even driven it 3 yards further than she did this morning, and had plenty of club with this 3-wood to get there, only 207 to the hole. She hit it in the left-hand bunker this morning, ended up making 6.
Ooh, that was like a low little cut.
Oh, and she hit the cut shot. That's what she needed, and what a beauty. A great time.
That is a really good shot. Nearly hole high, about 35 feet left of the hole. Let's take a look at this ball flight.
Yeah, this is just awesome. She's set up a little bit left towards the center of the green. She likes that patented cut shot. And look at this, start low, rising with a left to right movement, playing it against the right to left movement and slope of this green.
That's our K-Tracer technology. You saw that flight right away when she hit it.
Love it.
Well
Love it.
planned, well executed.
Yep. Well, Jane, set up the shot.
Well, good news is she has a good lie K. The bad news is that it's all downhill when she gets over that bunker, and a very steep part of the green is where this hole is set today.
See her taking those practice strokes, really keeping the blade open throughout. She's wants to loft this up there and hit a nice flop shot.
Yeah, needs to use her lob wedge. It's certainly doable, but she obviously can't get much spin on it at all. But I'm not going to say it's that hard because she's made most of these look very easy.
She made an eagle here, Jane, in the round of 16 earlier this week, so you never know with Lydia Ko. And this one now to win the match.
I have to play it well to the right.
Well, that came out lower.
Oh, and she got a huge amount of check on it. I'm quite surprised there.
Yeah, did that check or did that hit a little bit of the grass and that kill it?
She could still make a birdie and win the match. Of course, her opponent, J-Marie Green, has an eagle attempt, albeit a long one.
Yeah, but not that long when you're talking eagle. I mean, she's probably 20 feet away, maybe 22. All uphill. Is going to bend from right to left. I don't think it's a ton. I think there's some break there.
I think with this angle, it's not as severe. If she'd been, more to her right, more towards the front of the green, it would have had more right to left movement.
That's the putt they had this morning. She actually had that almost that identical putt this morning and hit it well past. Probably had another 8 feet coming back, but she has to be cautiously aggressive here.
Wow.
Seems like an instant replay, every one of these putts going across the corner of the hole.
I mean to tell you.
What an effort. It had to look so good. Even Lydia Ko went, oh man, I thought that was in. So Lydia Ko now with a putt to become the United States Women's Amateur Champion.
And what an achievement that would be for this young lady and for her country of New Zealand. But this is no bargain. This is quite a lot of right to left in it, Kay, and not the easiest putt to make at all.
And J-Marie Green there in the foreground, just hoping to play another hole.
Yeah, you don't want to wish ill will on anybody, but I'm sure she'd like to go another couple holes if she can. She's done her part. Oh,
It's wide right. J-Marie's still alive.
Perhaps that second guess was the wrong choice.
She had been so confident getting over the putts, going through her routine, maybe having the mom take a look at it. Backed off a couple of times. J-Marie is watching this one. Aha. Come on, let's go play 17, Lydia.
She did miss it on the high side. She was giving it, maybe she just had a little bit of doubt and gave it that last little bit of inch to the right.
He's played so often and holds the course record. Jay Marie now with 3 wood.
Going to try and hold this ball against the hill a little bit, perhaps. There's a low area on the left-hand side that is sort of a collection area. That one stops nicely and should be a good lie in the fairway for her.
Yeah, she drove it in a divot here earlier in the week, and it really cost her.
Lydia Ko birdied this hole this morning.
Speaking of course records, Lydia Ko shot a 66 here on Monday, first day of stroke play, and that is a women's course record.
And also going with the 3 wood, wind helping on this 342-yard hole. Good solid shot.
That one takes a little bit of a ground fade. Kicks over into a nice area. A couple of good lies. But Lydia Ko is dormy too. Jay Marie Green looking for a birdie here at the Country Club. Welcome back to the U.S. Women's Amateur Championship. This is the final match, 36 holes scheduled. We are into our 35th hole right now. Lydia Ko with a 2-up lead, which means she is dorming.
Well, a yardage of 125. This is going with an 8-iron. You see Mum with a handful of clubs. You wonder why she didn't just bring the buggy right up there, Kay.
That's one of her little handles. She loves carrying clubs out there like that.
Kind of looks like she's got a wood in her hand. Maybe the driver for the, well, I don't know what the.
Maybe she needed, in case she needed to take relief from a sprinkler or something.
Pick a club, any club.
I thought maybe it was the driver for the next hole.
Well, I think a good play to be back here on the flat, on the plateau. Good look at the flag, and it's only on 16 paces. It's 5 off the left. Ideally want to keep it below the hole.
Hit a beauty in here this morning. In between clubs, gripping down 2 inches.
She's very much a field player, kind of like Lorena Ochoa.
Carried it just a little bit too deep. Pretty good shot, but still 25 feet or so above the hole. So now, Jay Marie Green in need of hitting a really good shot.
Mark, she's done everything to give herself an opportunity to do that. She's has a good lie in the fairway, drove it in the correct position, have a good look at the whole location. Only 95 yards.
Yeah. Wow. How far is it? 80 yards?
96.
How far are you here?
95.
That's the line, man.
Are we sure?
If we're down.
I feel like
It's
it's not really doing, I don't think it'll hurt it. And plus I'm downhill. This is it, I know.
Okay.
I agree with her. She is a little bit downhill, and it's just enough.
We're down. Wind.
Wait a minute. What?
No, we're downwind. That's just what it
Downwind.
is. I got it.
So important the player gets that number in their hands, in their head, in their body, that they can repeat. She dug a huge divot there.
Oh,
That's that swipe across that we were talking about earlier, from potentially from having those clubs that were a little bit too flat.
and that was really a bad spot. She didn't go severely down that embankment, but this is not going to be easy.
Well, the condition of Jay Marie Green, not very good right now. She will most likely have to hold this one to stay alive.
You know, the lie could be a lot worse, though, Mark. She can see the ball. It's actually running with the grass in the direction that she has to play the shot. So those are both positives. And it is back uphill, at least in the beginning.
Problem is that stance, it's going to be one of those severe calf stretchers where your heels are so low, so much lower than your toes.
Well, 18-year-old legs, that's a little bit easier than others. That should help her a little bit. She's going to have to choke way down.
You can see it. She's choking down to the metal shaft.
She told her father walking up here, she goes, I couldn't feel how soft the ground was. And that iron shot just slid right under it from the fairway, she said.
So she has now stabbed it to about 14 feet there, but her opponent, who is in good shape behind the hole, would need only to two-putt from where she is to be the champion.
Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do in golf. All you need to do is two-putt to win.
It's kind of interesting that Lydia Ko's come to this 17th hole 2 days in a row. She was playing Arya Jutanagarn yesterday in the semifinal match, which had been a pretty good match, and Jutanagarn hit the bad shot down low and left and ended up conceding the hole. So something about this 17th has been good fortune for Lydia.
And the day before, she beat Paula Rito in the quarters on this hole.
Well, this putt now of Lydia's about 30 feet downhill, going a little to her right, and you're right, Kay, that is a hard thing to do, to ease something down there close enough to be conceded the match. But she has performed admirably this week. It really has been a pleasure to watch her.
She's been the best player, that's for sure, from what I've seen, and that's what you really want to have, truly the champion to be the player who played the best this week, and she has. So it had perfect weight in terms of the distance, but it was just a little wide left, and it would appear like it's not going to be conceded. So J. Marie Green, to have any chance, she will have to hole hers. And a remarkable performance, though, for J. Marie this week. We talked before about her resume. She is a top 10 ranked player in women's amateur golf, but has never really been in a situation like a final match of a U.S. Women's Amateur. She has hit putt after putt in these 35 holes that looked good, and very few have gone in, especially the last 4 or 5 holes. This to stay alive. Not to be, she picks up the coin of Lydia Ko, and Lydia Ko is the champion. And when we come back, we'll have a word with J. Marie Green, the runner-up, and of course that woman right there, 15-year-old Lydia Ko, the U.S. Women's Amateur Champion.
Pleased to be joined by Martha Lang, the chair of the U.S. Women's Committee and our champion. And Martha, what a great week, what a wonderful course. She came in as the top-ranked amateur in the world, and she proved it this week.
We had a wonderful week, and Lydia just has played terrific golf all week. We're mighty proud of her. We've had a wonderful week at the country club, and thanks to all the people that came out today to watch. I'd like to present Lydia Ko with the 2012 U.S. Amateur Champion Trophy.
Well, Lydia, right before this interview, you said it's a pretty good-looking trophy. How much better is it going to look with your name on it now?
Way, way, way better. I didn't really expect this trophy to be mine, and I came, before this tournament, I said, I've trained hard back in New Zealand, and it would be really awesome to win it. And I won the, New South Wales Open this year, and I didn't cry from happiness, but down the 16th, tears started coming up in my right eye, so I said, oh, I hope this is a good thing, and in the end I got the trophy, so, it means a lot.
You told me earlier in the week, as the #1 ranked women's amateur golfer in the world, many people expected you to win this championship. What was the most difficult part to stay on focus and win that trophy?
I think just focusing on my game, and match play is a whole different game to stroke play. If your opponent makes a par, and it doesn't matter, if you make a double, it's not 2 strokes, it's just you lost 1 hole. So I mean, I just try to, focus and not get too much pressure. I mean, when people back in New Zealand saw me go to the final, they're like, "Oh yeah, go Lydia." We're all watching like via Facebook, so I didn't want to make anyone disappointed, and I don't think I did.
Very competitive championship match, one up, but then a big turning point on the second 18 at the 6th hole, the 7th hole, and the 8th hole. Was that the turning point for you in your mind in this championship match?
Yeah, I think so, and especially after my chip-in on 7, I think that meant a lot, and I made 3 chip-ins this week, and that's not really normal for me. You can make 3 chip-ins in a year, and that comes. So my confidence just went straight up. I 3-putted the 11th, and I was a little gutted, to be honest. But I did some pep talk and said, you're world number 1, you can do this. Just everyone makes mistakes, you're not perfect.
You've achieved so much at such a young age. Where does this championship rank in everything you've accomplished?
I think at the top it's the biggest amateur event ranked for me especially, so it's definitely a meaningful moment, and it's good to have it done at such a great course in a great area.
Well, the question is, will you be back to defend this championship next year?
Yes, like Danielle King.
Well, it was a wonderful week, a magnificent championship match. Congratulations.
Thank you.